This is the regular meeting of the Board of Estimate and Apportionment, Wednesday, March 18th, 2020 at 2 p.m. Could you call the roll, please, Steph?
Mayor Cruzen?
I'm here.
Comptroller Green?
Here.
President Reed?
Here.
Thank you. If I could just take a minute to say a couple of things before I read the agenda. I want to just thank you, Comptroller Green and President Reed, for your continued support of what the city has done thus far in combating the COVID-19 outbreak. We are all working to be sure that our individual employees are safe and that they are informed. To date, the city has taken historic and unprecedented action to try to minimize the spread of COVID-19, protect the public's health by enacting new restrictions on bars and restaurants, and limiting events and social gatherings at this point to no more than 50 people. It is certainly possible and even likely that that number of limiting public events will be reduced from 50 people. As you probably know, all of the state's casinos have also closed. That was an effort that was really pushed by all the leaders in the region, county executive in St. Charles, St. Louis County, myself, and other people, the mayor in Kansas City, all trying to work with the governor and the Gaming Commission in order to effectuate that change. We felt that the casino population was often older and at risk, and that there were just a lot of people there. So that occurred yesterday morning. We are going to continue to work with all the department heads, the directors, commissioners, elected officials in the city in order to continue to provide the essential services of the city while remaining sensitive to the health issues of our employees, our public. So we will continue to issue building permits, and we'll continue to renew driver's license, and we'll continue the essential services. But we know that that the demand is down in some of those areas, and so there are some departments that are working. Some people can work from home. Many of our departments cannot work from home. You cannot work from home if you're a police officer, if you're a firefighter, if you are a corrections officer, if you fill potholes, if you cut grass. None of those people can work from home, and we want to continue to try to provide those services as best we can. Up to this time and in the future, we are going to base our decisions based on medical science, facts, epidemiology, not on politics. This is no time for politics. This is all about science. Dr. Fred Eccles, I think most of you know Dr. Eccles, is our medical expert and the head of our health department, and we are working with him as well as the presidents and the medical directors of the three largest health systems, BJC, SSM, and Mercy hospitals. So we're going to continue along that. This is a very fluid, fast-moving, fast-changing situation. If you would have asked me a week ago today if I thought we'd be where we are, I would have said, oh no. But clearly this is a fast-moving situation. On Monday, the state had 8 cases. Yesterday, we had 15 cases. I don't know the number today, but I can tell you that the city of St. Louis has one more case today. St. Louis County has at least one more case. And St. Charles, I don't know, they may have more cases as well. So this is a very fast-moving situation. We do know that we have had some cases where there has been community exposure, and that's very worrisome to all of us. Hence, you see the setup of this room, which probably feels a little weird as we all sit far apart and as the public sits far apart, but this is something that's really necessary and we have to continue to practice. So with that, I'll just say thank you again to all of you, to Madam Comptroller Green and President Reed, and to all of our department heads and everyone who's working at breakneck speed to control this situation. Control's the wrong word. To tamp down the spread of COVID-19. So,
Madam Mayor, before you move forward, I just want to thank you and commend you. I think you've shown great leadership through this process by coordinating this regional effort and also by reaching out to the state for support. And it's what we need at this time. So job well done, and I appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you. The last thing I'll say before I read the agenda is that if you didn't see it last night, we did a press conference announcing that, all the schools are closing. They're either on spring break now or they're closed as of today. And there are 33 locations where kids in our city, whether they're in that school or not in that school, but 33 locations where those kids can get take-home lunch and breakfast in one bag. These sites are open from 8 to 12 every day. 3 of them are open today. By Monday, 33 will be open. St. Louis Public Schools is on spring break this week, so that explains that difference. So that's been, I think, an important coordinated effort, really led by Dr. Will Pinckney, who's the Director of Children, Youth, and Families in our office, and Dr. Kelvin Adams, and the charter schools that are in our city. Everybody's coming together here and putting aside any differences to really make sure that things are handled. So with that, the agenda. Items presented for the first time. Request from the Comptroller's Office for approval of contracts and leases for various city departments as listed on Exhibit A. Number 2, 20.087, request from the Comptroller's Office for approval of intra-departmental and interdepartmental transfers from various city departments as listed on Exhibit B. Number 3, 20.088, request from the Comptroller's Office for approval of transfers between projects for capital improvement funds, listed on Exhibit C. Number 4, 20.089, request from the Deputy Director for Public Safety for approval of Board Bill 234. This ordinance authorizes the intergovernmental transfer agreement with the Missouri Department of Social Services, Missouri Health Net Division for uncompensated Medicaid costs associated with ground emergency medical transport, and establishes a special fund for payment of the non-federal share of cost reimbursement and related fees. Number 5, 20.090, request from the Mayor's Office, Director of Operations, and the St. Louis Development Corporation Executive Director for extension of completion date for the Jefferson Arms project from December 31, 2020 to December 31, 2023. I want to just make a comment at first that I'd like to separate out the first 4 items from number 5.
Okay.
I'd like to have a little bit of a discussion, if we can, about number 5 at the top.
Okay.
If that's acceptable with everyone, Madam Comptroller?
Yes.
Okay,
I
thank you.
move for adoption of items 1 through 4 as printed.
Second.
All in favor of adopting items 1 through 4 as printed? Aye.
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 Thank you. Okay, item number 5. Could we have a motion, and then I'd like
I
to...
move for taking up item 5 for discussion purposes only.
Thank you. Do we need a second to that,
Yes.
Madam Comptroller?
Second.
Thank you. So I think the 3 members of E&A received a letter from the developer for the Jefferson Arms project requesting a 3-year extension of the time. This project was done under, the TIF was awarded under an ordinance done under the previous administration. They have until December 31st, 2020, this year, so 9 months, in order to complete that project. They haven't started it yet. Clearly, they can't complete it by December 31, 2020. And so they have requested that E&A grant this 3-year extension. I asked that we take this up today because personally, I think it's inappropriate for the Board of E&A to give a 3-year extension, that's a very long extension, to a project that the Board of Aldermen did a board bill on. If it was a few months or something, I might feel differently about that, but this is a 3-year request. I think it is important at this time, this is my point of view, that we cannot approve this request, and that because several years have already clicked off on the TIF, if they are going to continue with this project, they would need to go back through the TIF process and back through the Board of Aldermen. I'm unwilling today to vote in favor of a 3-year extension on this project.
I am also. This project needs to go back before the Board of Aldermen. There's obviously been numerous problems with the project, so I am not willing to support a 3-year extension today. If we bring it up for a vote, I will vote. My vote will be a very strong no. So that's where I'm at with it.
So I believe we have a motion on the table to discuss this.
Yeah.
I mean, I would entertain a motion.
We could make a motion to adopt it and then just vote it down.
Okay,
I think
there's a
we could do-
motion to adopt item number 5. Is there a second? I'll second it because I'd like to have the vote on this.
Yes.
So I'll second it. So on a roll call vote, all in favor of adopting item number 5, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Cruzen,
No?
Comptroller Green,
No.
President Reed.
No.
Thank
3
you.
no votes.
Okay, thank you. I think that was an important step to do because we needed to get back to the developer and let them know what their next steps need to be, but doing that at the Board of E&A is not appropriate to me. Is there any other business?
No other business. I move that we adjourn this session of the Board of E&A.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all.
Aye.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Madam
Thank
Comptroller.
you, Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Comptroller.